Hello everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be picking out my June TBR with the TBR jar, and I'm going to be picking 6 prompts from this. I've added a few new prompts in here, but while I'll be picking 6 books to try and read this month, I'll also be reading a couple of others as well. So I'll go through those with you quickly. So first off, I will definitely be trying to read Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. This one is my book club pick and I'm really excited for it. I think it sounds like a little bit weird. It is about a woman named Tova who, after her husband died, she works at an aquarium as a cleaner, and it helps her kind of like just get by in her day-to-day life because her son also mysteriously died over 30 years ago, or mysteriously vanished I should say, on a boat. And then one night she meets Marcellus, who is a giant Pacific octopus living at the aquarium. And I mean the synopsis makes it sound like they become friends. It sounds a little bit weird, but I also feel maybe it explores grief, and I'm just really excited for this, and I think it sounds really interesting. I picked this one up, I want to say like last year, and I hadn't heard much about it back then, but since then I've seen really good reviews. And then the next book that I definitely want to finish, at least because I started this in May, is The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas. Now some of you might know I am rereading the entire Throne of Glass series at the moment, so I can finally read Kingdom of Ash, but I was going to skip this one originally, but then as I started reading Queen of Shadows, there are a few references that I remember were in here and explored in there a lot more, and so I've decided to pick this one up instead, and I am enjoying my time reading it more than I remember. But I've only finished like one of the stories in here, so it's not much, so this will be going onto my TBR for June as well. But now for the actual TBR jar. So like I said, I'm going to pick 6 prompts, so we'll go for the first one. So this one says, no, I can't do this. This one, it says buy a book from your wish list. I am going to ignore that. Okay, let's try again, just because I don't want to buy another. I always want to buy books, but like I need to calm down. All right, let's try another one. Ooh, a new to me author. So this is an author that I haven't read before. This one might actually be pretty easy. So the 2 that are really standing out to me are When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole, or A Court Is Cruel and Lovely by Stacia Stark. Obviously very different vibes, both of these. This one is a thriller and this one is the first in a fantasy romance series. I really don't know what one to go for, because obviously if I start this one I will be starting a whole other series when I'm already kind of in the middle of a few like fantasy romance series, but also I really want to read this. But then this is just like a thriller, and I haven't read a thriller in ages, and it's one I'm really excited for. I think I'm gonna go for When No One Is Watching, because this one has been on like my mental TBR at least for a really long time, and I got this, I want to say like 6 months ago or something, but I am still really excited for it. So this one follows Sydney Green, who is Brooklyn born and raised, and as she gets older her neighborhood starts to get more gentrified and things are getting sold, and like the things that she knows and loves in her life start to disappear. And then Sydney meets someone, or her neighbor, named Theo, and so they start diving into the history, and I believe there's something more sinister going on, and I've just heard really good things about this, so I'm very excited to add this to my TBR finally, officially. Oh, so this one is to read something with a 2-word title. All right, okay, so I've got a few choices. They're all very different. As you can, I don't know what I'm in the mood for, because I feel like lately, I was even debating whether to do this as like a TBR jar video, just because I really feel like just mood reading, but I also am in the mood for everything at the moment. When I was looking up my shelves last night, this is really hard to choose. But my first choice and my first thought was to read Transcendent Kingdom by Yagasai. And this one has been on my TBR for like a really long time. I'm gonna be honest, I completely forgot what this is about specifically. I know it follows like immigrant life and I think addiction as well it explores, but apart from that I don't know a hell of a lot about this and I can't remember, but I'm obsessed with the cover. It's been on my TBR for a really long time and I am very excited for this. I also really want to read Boy Parts by Eliza Clark. I've heard this is very, very messed up, very weird, like unhinged sort of fiction, and it is like an exploration of female desire, and like the main character in here is not a good person, but I have heard this is really good. And then on the opposite side of the spectrum, I have Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh, which is a chunky one. And I really, really want to read this one soon, and I want to find an excuse to read it because I'm so intimidated by this series. This is supposed to be a really great series with really well fleshed out characters, like lots of drama, lots of toxicity I believe as well, but also like found family, and apparently they're just really fantastic. And I've been meaning to read these for a while. I don't know. On one hand, I want to pick this just because I think maybe it'll finally be the push I need to read this book. But also, I want to go for one of these ones. You know what? I'm going to go for Boy Parts by Eliza Clark because I do really feel like something a little bit different. And then if I'm in the mood for like a romance, I can always pick this one up. All right, prompt number 3. This is going on for way too long because I am so indecisive today. All right, so, oh, this bookcase 3, shelf 3. So 1, 2, 3. You can't see bookcase 3. I will show you what's on that shelf though. So it's a bit messy, but this is what I have to choose from. There's so many options here. Ooh. Oh my god, I don't know where to go. Okay, I'm gonna put the camera down and I'll let you know. Now, just then I could have actually picked Transcendent Kingdom, and I still kind of want to pick that one, but I was at the bookshop recently and I saw lots of Eve Babbitt's books, and I'm like, no, I can't pick any of them up because I still haven't read this one. And so this one is Slow Days, Fast Company, The World, the Flesh and LA by Eve Babbitt. I believe this is like part memoir but also part fiction. Like it's not all 100% true and some of it is fictionalized, but it does follow Eve Babbitt and her stories throughout like the 70s or the 60s, I think, and her life as a socialite. So this one's very, very short. It's been on my TBR for a while, and I really want to see if I like this before I pick up any of her other books, because I've been like seeing them more often again and they're really catching my eye. But I want to read this one first and see how I feel. So I'm going to go with this one. All right, I just adjusted my camera again. So the 4th prompt, wait, are there 2? No, there's not. Okay. Oh, this one is so perfect. Okay, this one says to finish a series. Maybe this is a little bit cheaty because I technically have already started this one. However, I didn't end up finishing it in May. So I'm going to finish Iris Kelly Doesn't Date by Ashley Herring Blake. This is the 3rd in the Bright Falls series, and this is a sapphic rom-com series, each following a different character in the same friendship group. And this one follows Iris Kelly, who ends up joining a theatre company and joining in on a play for the first time because she is a romance author trying to get some inspiration for her next novel. Then she ends up meeting a woman named Stevie, and they have like a hookup one night and it goes wrong, but then they end up meeting up later on as well. So I'm gonna continue this. I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm not too far into it, but this one perfectly fits the bill and I really wanted to read it this month anyway, and I'm gonna continue with that one. All right, this is the 5th prompt. This one, oh, this one's exciting. Okay, this one is George's pick. So my partner is gonna have to come in here and pick a book for me to read. He probably won't come on camera, which is fine, but I will be right back.
I can hear.
Yay! I'll cut you out, don't worry.
That's okay, what is it? It's a pick.
So just any book that I haven't read yet. So you can pick from the TBR, or do you want me to give you a selection?
Your whole collection is the TBR.
I know.
Where's the TBR?
So this is my TBR cart specifically.
Okay, I'll pick one.
Okay.
Because you bought this years ago and it's time for you to stop being scared of the size. Ta-da! How many fucking years?
That's so rude. This is so scary. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so that was really easy for him to pick. Apparently he picked Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. He's not wrong. I have been avoiding this for years and I'm so scared of this book, and now I guess I have to read it, because if I don't read this, I'm gonna hear about it from him all month. So oh my god. All I know about this, or all I remember about this, is that it is a high fantasy. It is, I think it's sapphic as well. There's dragons, and it is set in a matriarchal society as well. So I am actually really excited about this, but I'm also really scared, and I can't believe he had the audacity to do that to me, but that's okay. Oh my god. All right, so final prompt. Please be an easy one. So this one is to pick a book with a green spine. So I am really struggling with this one because a lot of my green spines are like fantasy books, and I've only got like 2 fantasies in this TBR so far. But I mean, the last one was just Priory of the Orange Tree, so I don't know if I want to go too hard on the fantasy this month if I'm going to be reading that and Throne of Glass. Okay, so hear me out. I know I just said I don't want a fantasy, but I just looked at all of my bookshelves and I can't think of like what I actually really realistically want to read this month. And so I'm going to finally get around to reading A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. This is the 3rd and final book in the Once Broken Heart series, and I really just need to get around to actually finishing this, and I wanted to finish it in the next couple of months anyway, so I think this is a good excuse too. I'm gonna go for this one, and also it's a YA fantasy, so I feel like it's a bit easier and I already know the world, and I'm not like learning a whole new fantasy world, so I think this will still be a good choice despite the other kind of like heavier fantasies on my TBR. That is it for this video. That was really fun. I think I'm gonna re-add a few of those prompts back in here just because I think that could be pretty interesting sometimes. So these are all of the books that are officially on my TBR for the month of June. And this feels like a lot, I'm not gonna lie, but also I had a pretty slow reading month in May, so maybe I will actually be okay with these. We'll just have to see. But I've got a few smaller ones here, hopefully some easily digestible ones as well, but I'm really excited for all of these books. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you plan on reading in the month of June as well, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.